the next newcomers for the month of January are released, and here are the silhouettes. So you're probably wondering, who are these characters and should I pull for them? And that's exactly what we're talking about. So let's get started. I want to go over these units in the way I would prioritize them with pulling. So the first banner that also drops tomorrow is probably the biggest one. Why? Because there's 2 units. Let's start with the last exciting one, which is Battle Kazuma. Oops, that's the wrong fire Kazuma, sorry. There it is. The skills are pretty basic. Here's an attack up skill and Neo E HP condition skill, so nothing too crazy. His biggest power lies in his passive trait. He has a team passive trait that will boost your fire damage. And with that, he will be core pretty much for every fire team from the get-go. So if you really want to compete in fire, you probably want him. Same with the second unit that will come along with him, and that's the long-awaited Maid Lia. And I know you guys want to see the picture, so there you go. Enjoy those spies. Why is she so good, you ask? First up, she has Rashford as a skill. So she will be the fire Rashford unit for a long time. We still haven't gotten a new Rashford fire unit until now in JP, so we still haven't one. So she's really good in that regard. The second skill is a skill that does pretty big damage with a debuff condition. So she deals a ton of damage, she applies Rashford, and Lia is a really good support unit in general. Either you run her ulti 1 version 2 for the speed boost, or you either run her ulti 2 for the cooldown reduction. If it's Darren Global, I'm not sure, but if it is, you can also run that, and just makes a general really strong support for all fire teams. And this means the next banner that drops tomorrow is a must pull if you want to compete in fire. Let's go with the next one on the list. I don't have the exact order in my head of these banners dropping, but just want to show some other units that are pretty interesting. Because we just talked about Kazuma and being a team passive trait unit, there will be actually 2 more. I think 2 more that are dropping with him. The first one is Idolmeru, and she will boost your team's light damage. So you want her if you want to compete in light. You see where this is going. And the other one is actually over here, Pajama Melissa. Also here, I know you want to see Jamoske because he's pretty cute. You just want to focus on Jamoske, nothing else here. Right. And she has a wind damage buff. One thing I want to say here is there will be a second unit that boosts wind damage as a team passive, but also magic attack, which is New Year Wiz. So there is kind of a replacement to her, but at the same time, she's still the best, especially for Fizz. And we all know Fast Quiz is coming, a physical wind unit, so you should get her if you want to compete and win. And then we come to a pretty big problem with this month. There are a lot of units that you probably want because of the team passive traits, which makes it really hard as a free-to-play. So the best advice I can give you is to really focus on 2 to 3 arenas that you want to compete, and worst case, sack the others. Like, if you say you wanted Lia and you want to pull for fire, you should probably get both. And that probably means you maybe shouldn't focus on that Meru, because she's probably a single banner unit, so she's harder to get because there's no other unit you can get with her, or like it's worse to pull on her banner, let's say it that way. So maybe just take her then. Talking about, by the way, about the Pajama unit, I just saw it as a second Pajama unit coming with Melissa, and it's no other than our boy Das. He's another fire unit, but to be completely honest, he's a selfish unit. He doesn't help your team that much, so he isn't the big one, the big fire unit this month that comes with Mia and Kazuma. There's actually another, and that's the next banner. It's Kenpo. Thanks for the follow, by the way. So, there are 2 units that get dropped. The first one is Rin. It's this one here. She's Electro, and she's really good. Why? because of her skills. She has a single target skill, HP condition, so pretty big damage. And she has a 6-second cooldown reduction skill for a mage, Electro. So, if you don't run Fizz on a team with an Electro Arena, she's like the best unit to run along Union, or even sometimes instead of Union. But she will fall off, as Phantom just said. Yeah, kinda. I used her actually like 2 or 3 arenas ago as the main unit, and Union as slot 4. So she has some use, but not that big. She will be like good for 2-3 arenas, and then occasionally something like that. The other unit in this banner is probably more important and more interesting, and it's another fire unit. It's Fire Mitsurugi, or Kenpo Mitsurugi. The really cool thing about him is he has a defense reduction skill, and by the way, both skill have a debuff condition, so they deal pretty good damage. Like, for an AoE skill, 144% isn't too bad. And the second thing is, he has another debuff condition skill with pretty decent damage and cooldown reduction. I think it's only 4 seconds, but that alone makes him pretty good in fire, because it allows the other fire units to spam their skills more. You know, Mitsurugi's Ulti 1 version 2 buffs your team attack, so with Lia, for example, together, you have a buffer. You have a speed unit, you have Fresh Red, you have cooldown reduction. That's pretty stacked. And the last slot can be somewhere like Bell, for example, fits really in there with another cooldown reduction skill. Probably more like as a back unit, because you probably want to run a Migu with them as well. For her Raygun, like Raygun with Fresh Red is really, really strong. And the CDR helps Fast Migu, for example, to spam her skills more. So a slot 4 Bell seems like the best choice there. And of course, slot 5 Kazuma. So there are 4 out of 5 units for a physical team coming out that are pretty good. But there's also Winter Mitsurugi as another, you know, fire unit that you can use. So there is kind of replacement, but this is probably the best fire team we have. Unless it's really mage favorite, then of course, you know, Xmas Wiz and stuff. But I think even with that team, you can cope or like compete pretty hard. And yeah, I think these are all the 5 stars. I'm not going over the 3 stars. They are decent, but like nothing too crazy there. So you should focus on that. But as I said, it's hard for a free-to-play this month, because other team passive traits units are normally units you should get. Keep in mind, with all the delays, we probably get Overlord in a month or 2. Fast Chris will be in 3 months for now. That's a must pull. So if you have spare quads, or even 4-star tickets, none of these are limited. None of these are limited. If you have spare 4-star tickets, use them here. Otherwise, keep your 75k for Fast Chris, or maybe even Overlord, and depending on that more, for these banners, and use everything else you can to maybe try to get these team passive traits. Missing Kenpo Mitsu is actually too bad. Just replace him with Uchi, Komiko, and any arena, not Mage Cucks. Yeah, Komiko is like the cope team there. She also works, not gonna lie. But personally from experience as a JP player, Mitsu just outperforms Komiko. She's not too bad or not too far behind, but most arenas you probably run Mitsurugi. I mean, if you have a push Komiko, trial and stuff, you can use her, don't get me wrong. But I feel like Mitsurugi will be the stronger unit. So, priority list for you guys out there who want a tier list. Top tier is, of course, the maid banner. Get Lia, maybe get Kazuma as well. After that, probably all the trade units like Miru, Melissa, and Kazuma. And if you got those still have quads left, I think the Kenpo banner is the best banner you can pull on. Like, both of these are pretty solid units. Nothing too broken, but still pretty good. And ignore Dust, as always. Poor Dust. But yeah, if you have any other questions, leave them in the comments below, or just ask my Discord or ask my Twitch chat if I'm live. There are a lot of helpful people out there. Or join the unofficial Discord as well. It's a really good one with really cool features. It's global Discord. Sorry. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Have a nice day, have a nice year, and see you next time. Bye bye.